Very fun to be back. You know, the best part of my day is being on the field with the players, and it's really fun when the players come in such great shape and are excited and ready to go. And it's a far cry from where we were 4 years ago with that first freshman class, where we were trying to tell them where the football field was and anything. So it's been fun, and the upperclassmen, I'm really pleased with how they're taking a leadership role.
That's what I asked a couple of the other guys. I mean, what's the big difference they see between now and when they first got here?
Well, they know what's going on, and they know kind of what to expect. They didn't know what to expect, and the best part for these freshmen coming in is now they have upperclassmen to teach them how hard they have to work and how fast they have to play. There's no one better than someone who's done it to tell you that, and so we just have to come together as a team. That's the most important thing, and that's what I've been emphasizing to them since they got here yesterday.
And great strides, you know, every year, so expectations even higher, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, as a coach, you always have high expectations, and you always love your team a lot right now because you don't know exactly what you have till you face opponents. But I think there are higher expectations around the community and certainly on campus, and so I've told our kids, you know, going from 5 wins to 7, 8, 9 is a much harder step than it goes from 2 to 5, and we're going to have to be make a lot fewer mistakes. We're going to have to clean up our turnovers big time. But if we do those things, I think we can compete.
You mentioned Tentler and you mentioned leadership. How do you feel Tentler and Donald have come along and taken that role as captains?
Well, both of them have been great leaders, and both of them are starting to exert their leadership that they've learned. Ryan has always been a leader since he's gotten here because he's been quarterback for his whole life, and so he had some natural leadership qualities when we recruited him, and he's certainly polished those and become a much more positive leader. Donald, on the other hand, was not a very good leader when he got here, and when he had all those accolades thrust upon him, I think he put a lot of pressure on himself, feeling like he had to live up to a lot of expectations. And one of the best parts, for example, as a freshman, when he'd come off the field, he'd be speaking in tongues. I mean, I couldn't even understand what he was saying. He was so excited and didn't know what was going on, couldn't describe what the offense was doing. But last year, as he's coming off the field, he's explaining to the young guys, hey, here's what they're doing, this is the formation. And then this summer, he was very instrumental in keeping in touch with guys, keeping them motivated. So I'm really pleased with the leadership that Donald's displayed and how he's grown as a leader in our program.
Is the communication the biggest thing that he's come up with, or are there other parts of leadership that he's excelled in that maybe he struggled with in that freshman year?
Well, I think the fame. You know, everybody knows Donald Payne. On the field, off the field, around campus, in our league, around the nation. I mean, what he's achieved in such a short time is remarkable. I mean, absolutely remarkable. When you talk about a sophomore leading the nation in tackles, tying an NCAA record for 30 tackles. And the interesting thing is I think a lot of people think that we pad the stats, but we go back and check, and he makes them. And some of the plays he makes are just phenomenal. So when you get that kind of attention, you can't hide. You can't do things off the field that go unnoticed. Everything you do is a story, much like Jameis Winston. Well, like it or not, he made some really stupid mistakes. But if he wasn't Jameis Winston, Heisman Trophy winner, probably no one ever hears about it. And so Donald has through some help from us and some reminders that he's in a fishbowl, I think he's dealing with that a lot better. And now his accolades have gone to the national level. And I think he has aspirations of possibly extending his career beyond this. And so we're doing a lot to try to educate him on, okay, what is it going to take to play at the next level if you have that opportunity? But more importantly, what's it going to take to transition into the real world where your leadership skills are going to really make you money?
Social media is a new thing to him. Did you have some concerns with it when he told you he started up on Twitter?
Yeah. The thing is, I'm concerned with social media with every young man because for example, they think sometimes when they hit send that they can control what happens. And what I keep telling them, as soon as you hit the send button, you lose control of it. And so we, through our sports information department, Ricky Hazel does a great job of actually taking them through social media and how to use it, and brings up examples of how it shouldn't have been used. And they're still 18 to 22-year-old young men, and they're going to be mistakes. The problem is, again, with social media, you make a stupid mistake, it's national, and it can go viral instantaneously. So you just got to be really careful to hit delete twice before you actually hit send to make sure you want to send it.
Their styles appear to be different. Just from like talking to Donald, he said that Tentler's more of a tyrant. He's more of a fun-loving type of leader. Is that fair to say? Is that a pretty accurate summation of things?
That's probably true. I mean, Ryan's a type, as soon as practice is over, he'll be up watching a film 5 minutes later. He's more like a coach on